An oil spill in the seas near Mauritius is so large that it can be seen from space. Here is what we know so far. Reuters reports Mauritius has declared a state of emergency after a stricken tanker began spilling tons of fuel, causing an ecological disaster among the reefs to the southeast of the island nation. The Panamanian-flagged bulk carrier Wakashio is owned by Japan-based Okio Marine, an affiliate of Nagashiki Shipping. According to the Washington Post, the ship struck the reefs on July 25th and has leaked more than 1,000 tons of oil. India-based news site The Swaddle reports that the 300-meter-long Wakashio carried 3,800 tons of bunker fuel, 200 tons of diesel, and 90 tons of lubricants. According to Al Jazeera, Mauritius fears the ship could break up completely and release all its cargo. Al Jazeera reports oil sludge could be seen seeping into the ocean and white sand beaches, which threatens the fish, coral, and marine wildlife that Mauritius depends on for its economy. Once again, 2020 hits the ball right out of the park. Perhaps now is a good time to brush up these woodsy skills you have always fantasized about, supposing, of course, that there will be a wilderness for us to run to at the end of all this. Corals are a foundational building block of the planet's ecosystem. However, reports show that climate change may accelerate coral bleaching. Keep watching if you want to find out more about how coral die-offs and the efforts to save our oceans.
One of Earth's natural wonders is under threat again. Citing international marine experts, Phys.org reports that Australia's Great Barrier Reef might soon face another period of severe coral bleaching if the warmer-than-average March weather continues to heat the reef. The last time that happened, large swaths of corals were wiped out. For scale, the GBR is around the same size as Japan. Vice reports that between 2016 and 2017, half of all corals died in Australia's Great Barrier Reef following a series of heat waves. According to National Geographic, 30% died in 2016 and a further 20% perished in 2017 due to heat stress. David Walkenfield, Australia's top scientist on the GBR, said that the coming weeks will be a critical time for the reef. The prognosis for the world's coral reefs is looking rather grim. And by grim, we mean almost all of them will be gone forever in about 80 years. Warming and rising acidity bleach coral reefs by making corals eject their symbiotic algae. A new study presented to the American Geophysicists Union says that these processes will kill off nearly all coral reef habitats by 2100. Scientists expect 70% to 90% of coral reefs to disappear in the next 20 years, while some groups are trying to regrow bleached corals with transplants. The study's model shows that almost none of these projects will remain viable in 2100. The study shows that small portions of Baja California and the Red Sea will be some of the last viable sites for growing reefs in 2020, but these locations are too close to rivers to be ideal habitats. Researchers say climate warming and rising acidity are the main culprits for shrinking coral habitats because plastic pollution is so extensive that there are few places left for plastics to affect.
Researchers have found a new way to cheaply and efficiently restore dying corals, using a method similar to how farmers scatter seedlings onto a field. With the world's corals deteriorating at an alarming rate and restoration often slow and laborious, a team of scientists has come up with a better approach to sowing corals. The new method involves harvesting coral larvae and planting them on tetrapod-shaped cement substrates. In a few weeks, the larvae will turn into coral polyps, which can be sewn onto the reef. The seeding units don't require manual attachment and only need to be wedged into the reef's crevices. One day, they can be sewn from boats or by underwater drone. 12 months after the sewing, the scientists found at least one coral growing on half the units. They believe the technique can sew 10,000 corals in just 50 working hours, compared to the hundreds or even thousands of hours needed for common restoration methods. The team is currently working to refine each step of their novel sewing approach.
For more news animations and explainers, hit the subscribe and bell button to join the TomoNews family. Thanks for watching.